Ngalakin Khadijan Nyunga Boja.
Recording is going to give a possible workflow for working with SQLite using the Macintosh. So first of all, I'm going to go to a Finder window. I'm going to select Go to Home, and then this will show me where my home directory is. So Macintosh hard drive, that's the very top level. Inside that, there are 4 folders: Applications, Library, System, Users. Users is the one that's highlighted. Inside Users is 0001380. That's my username on this computer. And these are the directories in my home area. Now, I can accomplish the same thing using the terminal by just typing cd, and that will take me to the same area. So I do pwd, that's print working drive. I'll see that I'm in /users/0001380. So users 000138090. It doesn't give right from the Macintosh HD because it just uses / to indicate the top of this particular file system. Okay, if I look in the directory, my username, then I can see all of these different things. I can see the same view in the terminal by typing ls, list all the files. And so applications, CITS1402, CITS1402. Creative Cloud files, Creative Cloud files, and so on. Okay, I'll change into CITS1402, and you can see that AFL.db is already there and Q1. I'm going to ignore that for the time being, but I'm just going to create a new folder for Lab 2. So new folder, I did a right click there, new folder, and give it a name, Lab 2. Okay? If I now go to the same directory, CITS1402, on the terminal window, just like that, and I now type ls, then I can see the same files. Lab 2 is a directory, Q1 and AFL.db. Let me now go into Lab 2, change directory into Lab 2. This is where I'm going to do the work for Lab 2. Okay, Safari, Labs 2020. So Lab 2 is in the Week 3 Lab folder. So I click there, and now I want to get world.db. So I will click world.db. It'll download. If it doesn't download, you might have to do something like click here. My settings are configured so that it will do the downloading. Now, what I want to do is find where this file is and then move it into the directory Lab 2. So I can do a search, world.db, and then it should tell me where it is. Okay, it's in the directory downloads. Do a right click on that. So it's in the directory, sorry, I used the command, that cloverleaf command, 0001380 downloads world, okay? I want to move it from there into the directory where I'm working, into Lab 2. Okay, the easiest way to do that is to do move. Well, I'll do it using the graphical user interface rather than the terminal because you're more used to GUIs. So I will go to downloads. There we are. I will find world.db. It's at the very top because it's the newest file. And what I want to do is, well, I just want to move it to another directory. So how am I going to do that? Well, if I just drag the file name here after the mv command, it'll give me the full name of the world directory. And then I can just type dot to move it to here, world.db. Now it's gone from the list of downloads and it's present in this directory. Okay, done. Now let's do some work with it. So SQLite3 world.db, we'll start SQLite and load world.db. I'll check what tables there are. City, country, country language, that looks good. Select star from city, limit 10, first 10 cities, and then there they are. Okay, now I want to save some of my work and into a file of the right type. So I'm going to use text editor text edit, which is a freely provided text editor. I'm going to open it here. Okay. Now, text edit may open a window just like this, completely blank, or it may open a window with some formatting tools open. So if I select in Preferences Rich Text, then when I open a new window, File New, then it will have some editing tools on it. Now, if you create a document in this window, it will have to save all of the formatting about the fonts and the boldface and all the rest of it. So we don't want to have this editing window. We want to make sure that the preferences are set to only produce plain text. Right. There's a plain text window. I'm going to type my command in there. Select star from city limit 10. And now I'm just going to cut and paste into SQLite and see what output I get. Okay, so let's be very clear about what's happening. SQLite is the command prompt that SQLite issues. It's waiting for me to say stuff, and when I've said it, it will respond. I can either enter dot commands or I can enter SQL queries. So select start from country language, limit 10, first 10 country languages, first 10 rows of country language. Okay, so suppose I am asked to produce a list of the names of all of the cities. Suppose that's the query. Then what I can do is I can do my editing in the text edit window. Select city.name from city, limit 10. Okay, let's see how good that is. I cut and paste it into SQLite and then I run it. Okay, that's fine. So what I'm doing here is I'm editing here, cutting and pasting, and then working here. It doesn't matter if I format this in a sort of nice readable fashion like that, because if I cut and paste that, then it behaves exactly as though I typed all of those things in. So select city common name. When I hit the return at that point, it knows the command is not finished because it hasn't seen a semicolon, so it puts more prompt, and then the next bit still hasn't finished, still no semicolon, and it just keeps prompting me for more and more of the command until it's finally finished. Okay, so I'm happy now. I've got the command that I want to submit. Okay, well, I'm going to save it then. So File, Save. Okay, well, where do I want to save it? Well, I want to save it in the folder that I'm working in this Lab2 folder. Okay, so let's see how I can do that. Well, if I click on this little thing here, it'll give me a brief view into the file system. So you see we have the top level, the users, 000138890, and where I am currently located. Okay, documents is not where I want to be. I want to be inside the CITS1402 Lab2 folder. So I select CS1302 and then open it up. Now, so this is my home area. I want to go into here, and I want to go into here, and I want to save it as q1.sql, and I want to turn off this. I do not want it to use .txt. So turn that off. Now I click Save, and then it's saved. If I now quit the SQLite 3 and do an ls to see what files are there, then there it is, q1.sql, and so I can now, and that's got no silly .txt on the end or anything like that, it's just a plain text file. I can test that by doing cat, which means write out onto the terminal, and when I do that, so I typed cat q1.sql, and it just printed out nothing except the query. Okay, so that's good. Now there's one other way in which you can sort of test your command. I can do SQLite3 and then the name of the database. So that will start SQLite3, will load that database, and then I've got this funny command, this less than command, q1.sql. Think of this as a funnel. Think of me as pouring in the contents of q1.sql, that's just one command, into the SQLite program. Okay, so that will do, this is essentially the command that I will run to test your programs once they're ready. Okay, so it opens it with the world database and it pours in the command that says select the name from the first 10 cities, and I just check, well, yes, these are the correctly named the first 10 cities. Okay, there's a third way in which I can work this, which is I can just start SQLite3 here, and I'll open the world database. Now, if I just do read q1.sql, it'll just read whatever is in there at the moment, which is the single command that we've just written. There it is. What happens if I change it? City.name and city.country code from city. If I resave this, so I just save again, okay, now it's q1.sql, so the existing q1.sql file will have been overwritten with this new one. And so if I just do up arrow, I just get read q1.sql, and then bing. Now I've got the new command being executed. So what I would tend to do would be to work in the SQL in the text editor. Then every time you've changed things and you want to try them, then just go down to the SQLite terminal and read the file in. Okay, this is probably long enough now, so I will stop there.